Silence now.
The first thing I'd like to do is to endorse very warmly the remarks you made of congratulation of those involved in the restoration of Leinster House, not least this chamber itself, and to express my admiration for the work they did. I had the privilege of being shown through it when it was at a very raw stage of rehabilitation, and the extraordinary skills that were shown in restoring the house and the extent of the task which faced the contractors was very substantial. And I want to thank the members of the staff of Oireachtas Éireann and of this House for their courtesy in the last 2 years. I want to move an amendment to the order of business in relation to the statements on the Seanad Reform Implementation Group. I want to move an amendment that all contributions to delete the proposed time limits of 8 and 6 minutes, and to insert instead that all contributions, including that of the Minister, should be limited to 12 minutes. This is an important issue, and I think it's one on which people are entitled to spend some time debating it, rather than be shoehorned into a very short period of time of 6 minutes on a matter which is of constitutional importance. And the second point I want to make in that context is that the practice in this House of limiting ourselves in our contributions, but then inviting in a minister who is free to deliver a very lengthy tract, which we have the advantage of reading and seeing and hearing at the same time, is undesirable. We run our own business here, and I understand the Minister of State, Phelan, is proposing to come here this evening, and I think that he should be limited to the same period of time as the rest of us if he's going to contribute to this debate, especially in view of the absence to date of any proper response to the report, which has been now in the hands of the government for so long. The second point that I want to raise today is that of recent press comment and media comment to the effect that as a result of the financial crisis in RTE, which I understand to be a real crisis, that a number of proposals are in contemplation, one of which is the possible ending of Lyric FM.
Shame.
And I just want to say in relation to that, I remember donkeys years ago when the pirate stations were functioning, meeting a very senior executive of RTE who claimed that if pirate stations were legalised and if there was any competition with RTE on what was then called pop music stations, that it would be the end of democracy in Ireland. And as a result, we got 2FM. But if there are to be economies in Montrose as to what goes out, surely it makes sense that that which would not be broadcast were it not for the licence fee, in other words, Lyric FM, should be preserved, and that if there is some sacrifice in service, that 2FM might join the myriad of other stations which are competing for that particular market. And I just want to say this as well. I don't want to get into a discussion of earnings of individual broadcasters or that, but I do want to say this, that anybody who listens to the radio a good deal, as I have done for a long period of time, and who listens to the advertisement slots now on RTE, must be struck by the fact that nearly all of the advertisements are now either self-advertisements or advertisements for semi-state bodies, and that the great majority of advertising is being sucked up by other institutions. If you channel hop on your Sky News, you'll see satellite channels with ads directed at the Irish market in huge amounts. And it makes you wonder, is it really the case that RTE is being properly financially managed if they can devote all their advertising slots to warning you about the dangers of not having a television licence, or alternatively telling you the next programme they're going to have, or advertising their own merits as a news channel or whatever, or giving subsidised advertising to concerts and the like, and saying that they are supporting the arts. And the only alternative ads in volume in RTE seem to be ones for things like getting your road safety and other ads like that for that kind of purpose. But the point I come back to is this. Lyric FM would not exist were it not for the licence fee. And it is for the licence fee and public service broadcasting that we are willing to pay that contribution. We are not there to subsidise alternative stations to the pop music stations. We are there. We are paying our licence fee to get something else over and above some form of public service broadcasting that we would not otherwise receive. And I say this, that the suggestion that we would sacrifice Lyric FM at this point and keep 2 FM in existence is deeply offensive and an indication of completely wrong priorities in Montrose. And I would hope that the leader will call in the relevant minister to address this issue in this House and to justify any proposal to close down Lyric FM. Thank you very much.